Would not be me accidentally putting my headset on wrong. What a day. Let's get the posts out on social media in the pregame lobby. We have been doing a good amount of writing recently, but I'm kind of feeling I am on a roll. I do have to apologize for not streaming yesterday. I was busy with some friends and some jolly cooperation, and I didn't feel like ending our cooperation before we finished without you know getting a W in. And we got the W, which is nice. So I now have Enslaved Aspire 2 finally. For all this time, I have the I have all the epochs unlocked. So it should make everything else go slightly easier. As far as it's concerned with like um actually oh lord, of actually getting through the list of the extensions. But the hope is here shortly. We might do some more. We might do some more um, Slay the Spire 2 streams. Probably do some funny build runs. Because there's this really, really funny build I love doing with Defect, but it's so hard to get going because in order to get enough of the cards to do it, you almost need Clone. And it's not Claw. Claw is like a guaranteed W, I feel like, with Defect. Just because like how stupidly easy it is to get that rolling. But what we're actually looking to do is the one run I want to try doing is just Oops All Orbs. And so in that though, why is it why is it in this format? Hold on. So why is this? That's weird. Why is it double paged? Read mode. Huh. I'm gonna try to fix this real quick. In the meantime, try to walk through the woods. Oh, I was up. Anyways, I think I fixed the issue. I sure hope I fixed the issue. That's just so weird that they're just like, yeah, we're gonna automatically make your document oriented, not in a way that you want it to be. Like, thanks. That's exactly what I wanted it to be. You know, why'd you freaking if I'm gonna be honest, if you guys know of a better like word suite than freaking Microsoft, I would be so on board with it. This is so dumb. It's like I don't want 2 pages. I want 1. So I gotta fix this in this document yet too. Reading dark mode. So dumb. So dumb. Like, why would you change what I had it set to, eh? But yeah, got that fixed at least. Let me go ahead and get my... I also think I might have traumatized one of my it's with a joke. Oh lord. Oh lord alive. Apparently there's a show called Euphoria. I'm sure people have heard of it, but... Man, I'm out of juice. One of the things they did in the show apparently is like had a person go very big. Yeah. The ad is playing. Go ahead and get into it, shall we? I spelled my load command wrong. I know it's dumb having a load command, but I just really like how this looks. And tag it. If I like it, I'ma keep it. Ugh, Lord alive. It is a neat thing. Thank you, Soup. How you doing today, buddy? I think the next day off I'm gonna be tweaking some of the stuff. I want to change this. I'm not sure how I'm gonna change it yet. The thought is to just let A Walk in the Woods play from here. If OBS supports continuous play. And then we just get rid of the Beast Chant. As much as I like the... Doing fine. I might have to write my next session for my brother's campaign soon. Ooh, that will be fun. Doing some D&D stuff there, buddy. Well, you know what I didn't think about? Hold on. I didn't think about this. Need this to be Control Alt C. This needs to be... W. Okay. I realize I need to actually change something here. What is the... Did OBS already switch over to it? It did. I need to fix this. So as you can see, we have the outline, and it is not the same as I need it to be. So... Okay. That it is the exact same position. Okay. No, I decided to make an actual shortcut for my little cheeky behind the scenes here. But I made a shortcut for... And what was the Y? Negative 60? Negative 41. Negative point. Alright. So that should match slightly. Scale is slightly off, that's fine. Go. Yes, and honest, and also my main campaign too. Yeah, that's kind of the one thing I've been enjoying about going back and forth between the writing stuff here is it has definitely been beneficial for me to have this as a project that I'm doing with all you guys. Because it's a way for me to flex my creative muscle and still have a way to like do more than just be like a let's player. Not that it's a bad thing to be a let's player, but like I do really like the ability that this affords me to be just a teeny bit more creative with what I do. So it's not just you're only seeing me play video games or you're only seeing me build models. This is a nice little side project that we get to do together. But yes, no, I highly encourage writing. I think it's a excuse me. Oh, goodness. Thank you for the stretch, the posture reset, the hydrate. Oh, dear. Oh, no! Welcome in, Kasuna. Thank you for making your presence known. Hope you're doing well today, buddy. I'm doing well, all things considered. Dude. Really? I just ask you a question and you're like, you want me just to walk? Mad about it. I'm mad about it. But you know what? I'm gonna do one up on you. You know why I'm gonna do one up on you? Because I'm gonna put the desk into stand mode. I'm glad you're doing okay. But yeah, model's gonna lose me soon. Yep, model lost me. That is a very pensive look. Look at him. He's glancing off to the side. He's like, can I do it, please? Can I give it to them? Goodness, I do need to take some time to tidy up my. Oh, there we go. I need to take some time to tidy up my workstation here. I got some garbage I missed. But yeah, let me go take my walk. I'm gonna yell at you from across my apartment as I get my my stream manager set up. Make sure it's up and going. Gimme! You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna do a thing real quick and then make it so that you gotta get up and go away. It's real fair. It's real fair, buddy. Also, the nice thing is, it's man. It over the weekend. No. I started some deep cleaning in my apartment over the weekend. Finally got to a point where I was comfortable, and then I did some more today because I had a migraine, and what sucks about having migraines on a Monday is because they're very consistent. But one thing I will say is, now that that's over, back to it. So let me go ahead and actually get Spotify going for you monsters, so you can have something to listen to. All right, so what we're doing today, I think we're going to start, I mean, not monsters in a bad way, you know, in the way of like, I can't believe one of you made me walk. Oh, that reminds me, I do have a monster. They got this like red, white, and blue one. That's an Ultra Zero. Oh, you're a beast? Okay, my apologies. You beast. Goodness, I am so tired today.
Let's go gambling!
Gamble! I'm distracting myself. So like I did some deep cleaning today. I hauled some stuff out that I didn't need. I worked through the migraine here as best I could. I started doing some deep cleaning stuff over the weekend when I wasn't on my PC. But yeah, no, I ended up playing some games with a friend of mine after I got home, and I was like, well, style. Nicely done, Kasuna. But yeah, so anyways, what I'm hoping to do today is we finish that outline for chapter 1, we finish the outline for chapter 2 and 3, and then we can actually start. Migraines aren't, yeah, they know they suck. I think it's because I'm spending too much. I kind of guffawed at it before, but I honestly am starting to feel like I am spending too much time on my PC over the weekend, that I might need to tone back how much I stream on weekends so that I'm not doing like 4-hour streams like I usually do. But we'll come to that decision at a later date, because it's either going to be like we do the 4-hour stream, or we try to do 2 smaller streams. We'll see. It is hard for me not to want to stream more on those days, but I'm thinking we gotta focus in on that. Speaking of focusing, I'm having a hard time doing that. So, let's go over what we have so far for the chapters. Opener to cold open. The idea for the chapters to episodes ratio is 3 chapters as a single episode. So you got the opener, which is like your like opening theme stuff. As the series progresses, you'll have like the recap, obviously, which the recap will be kind of more or less like a very like distilled, like 3-minute part of recap of what happened in the last episode. So like the major plot points, and then resume into that. So what we want to do as we're working on this, we want to have it where it's like you have the throughput plot of the 3 chapters, and then like you condense that into what the episode is, and then you go from there for how to structure the episode. So it's almost like you're taking one big chapter and bringing it into thirds. So you have like your chapter 1, your act 1, act 2, so on and so forth. So a note we have here, Jared versus Dakota. Jared is when he feels more underpowered, like his original self before he got the augments. Dakota is who he is now. He's stronger, got more to protect, doesn't refer to himself as Jared unless it's in moments where he felt weaker. Jared versus Dakota is to feel similar to how Batman or Bruce versus Batman plays out, but not to the extent where Jared is no longer Jared and is only Dakota, but that Jared feels as if he's objectively not as strong as Dakota. So the throughput would be Jared coming to terms with the fact that, yeah, no, he is as strong as he limits himself to be. So the idea will kind of be like Jared's own plot through the story, is realizing he is who he is versus him being just 2 different people. Which is kind of a cliche theme, I know, but like that's kind of the backbone of everything we're doing with this, is to have cliched themes. So, chapter 1 outline covered Dakota's current stuff. How does he feel about what happened? Maybe some flashbacks to the fight. Is he bothered? Slight world building. Explain how people feel about the world. Perspectives, trust, etc. Fallout from the Night of 1,000 Stars, aka what happened after the prologue. Should we have someone question him about what happened, like give him a debrief about how it went down? I don't know if we answered that question yet. I know we answered the one part of it, so we erased it. At some point where Dakota has not been augmented, has not been augmented on, and fight with a much more skilled pugilist who tells him what is important and fight against a more powerful combatant. I feel like this is still something important to have, but I feel like what we'll do for this in particular is start seeing with Jared before the augments and the Super Soldier product, just dealt ring with an older fighter. The older fighter is scarred, bruised, and has many years of combat experience shown on his body. Jared cocky rushes in, voice over head. Rushes in voice overhead, tells him to duck, bob left, avoid haymaker, etc. Jared ignores the voice over. Don't always advise get heads, keep pushing regardless. Jared gets knocked down and tossed out of the way, catches himself on the ring's wall before being ringed out. The other fighter shakes his head, then proceeds to show Jared how it is done. Reveal voice in Jared's head here is that other fighter going over their fight and how Jared... Hello, I read the rules, but... Oh, don't be a jerk. It's essentially just don't be rude. The hello, I'm going to say Nikon 4, right? Is that like Ni and then Con? Like convention? Hey, that's okay. The fact... basically, it's just, yeah, don't be rude. Yeah. Niconia. Okay. Well, welcome in, Niconia. Hope you're doing well today. You're catching us going over what we did last Friday. We're just going over the writing stuff we have here, but I hope you're doing well today. We're just listening to music and writing. Yeah, no problem. Essentially, where you're joining us at right now is we're going over the outlines for chapters 1 through 3. And then we're going to be working on... Oh, it's the character story for the Twitch character I have here. Essentially, as a hobby streamer, one of the things I want to try to do ultimately is like create a character that like people can attach themselves to for what we do here. Essentially, this will be the eventual character for this channel. Think of it as an interesting take on like what a cartoon tuber or like a PNG tuber is. Yeah, so and this is also kind of something that will lead to like merchandise that I eventually want to try to do, but this is all just like for this love of the game. But yeah, so I figured it's not something I hear people doing often, so I kind of wanted to give it a go and see how it goes. But yeah, so where you're catching us at, let's go. Yeah, where you're catching us at is we're just going over the overview right now. So anyways, Jared gets knocked out, tossed out of the way because it's fell ring wall before being ringed out. The other fighter shakes his head and then proceeds to show Jared how it is done. Reveal the voice in Jared's head here is that fighter going over their fight and how Jared should have approached it after Jared lost to him. Give him tips and insight on how to read people in a fight. Cut to end a fight against the Bloodsmith before Eerie joined. How could I have done this better, old man? He asks himself before he starts looking back through the fight, reversing as if someone was rewinding a VHS. Am I half a millionaire yet? You're close, Soup Dog. Also, like Kona, we have some fun games you can do here. One of the things being is, as you can see, slots. I don't think you have a ton of credits right now. You will earn them passively as you... Oh no. You'll earn them passively as you... Ouch! Throw a grenade at me. You'll earn them passively by just chatting and like watching, stuff like that. So, go ahead and clear out other things. But yeah, no, we got a lot of fun little games and fun little things you can do here. There are some cooldowns on some things, just probably not as big as they need to be. But yeah, hope you enjoy your stay. Alarm clock blares across the room for Dakota, waking him up as he slumber. On about the day, time, weather. And we have a montage of Dakota getting ready for day. 3 months after the fight against the Bloodsmith is when this will start up. Dakota makes breakfast for himself, his sister, and gets a call about needing to head to work sooner. Cheeky comments about her schooling, make sure Corey is fed in time, which, if you don't know, Corey is the little rock gecko we came up with. Yeah, fed this time. She can't just keep giving Dakota spare iron he has laying around. Sister calls him Jared. Then driving to work, mostly uneventful. Some more flashbacks to the fight as he goes through the motions of it. What magic was he using? How do I get my hands on that tech? Show part and fight where he shows up to save Jared in the end. Should probably make a note here. Make sure weapon shown off along with otherworldly magics. The setting, if you're curious, is basically, if I was to tell you, hey, you gotta roll your dice, Soup Dog. the setting for this all is like, if you know Cyberpunk, right? Like the whole augmented dystopian kind of like capitalistic hellscape that it is. But we take that setting and we make it more so like, oh, nice, an 18. That is really good. The idea is that oh, don't need that. The idea is that it's a cassette tape future cyberpunk setting mixed with your power metal fantasy stuff. So think of like He-Man meets cyberpunk, essentially. With her otherworldly magics cut to work, starting shift, drinking cheap coffee as looks over the bounty board. No new bounties or updates on the bloodsmith. Feels like he should only focus on him. Disappointed, Dakota goes on patrol before he can leave, though. Boss calls him in for another talk about what happened. You've not been the same since then. You gotta not focus on this guy alone. You got other stuff to do, etc. Flashback to the start of the fight. Jared realizing it's Reagan, asking him why. Asking him, what has he done? Why? Let's go do this. He is done. And I think this was the right thing to do. That is a good roll. See here. Disappointed, Dakota goes on patrol. Wants to leave. Boss calls him in. He has done. That backwards. Whoops. Even my English isn't great, and I only speak English. Dakota. He's not ignoring words. Spelled determined wrong. Of course, I spelled determined wrong. There it is. But determined to still find out where the blood. He goes leave. Then calls other reason why he came in early. Tech wizards wanted to see. Ooh, the Monopoly board game takes its street names from from which real American city? Oh, that's I want to say it's either South Carolina or New Jersey. Part of me wants to say New Jersey more so than South Carolina, though. And Tech Wizards wanted to see him to give him his new. Hey, nice. For some odd reason, New Jersey sounded right, but I couldn't tell you why. I definitely knew it wasn't Duluth because of what Duluth is. It's not a very... Like, it is a big city in Minnesota, don't get me wrong, but it's not like a city you can base, like, a Monopoly game off of. And Chapter 1. This Oda meeting up with the wizard. Trying out his new weapon. He upgraded. Yeah, pistols. Alright. I feel like that's a good start for chapter 1. Thank you, penguin named... I'll use this portable radio. Huh? You got a portable radio? It's interesting. All right, how do we feel about the outline for Chapter 1 so far? Do we feel like we need to cover anything else? Maybe some more world building? Ah, yes it is. Okay. And a world building... About who his boss is. Puzzly introduce. Spelled intro. Yeah, I spelled intro wrong. Good grief. Introduce clerk on the prologue. Blasphemy outlines in this economy. Jokes aside, feels solid. Thank you. Thank you, Face Your Fear. Do you want to be preferred to as Face or Fear or Your? I could also do F3R. Oh, thank you for stopping and hope you're doing well today, Face Your Fear. As far as I know, I'm talked to whatever your fancy. All right, well, I think I'll stick with Fear. I think Fear's a good one to go for out of the other three options I gave out. I'm gonna spell Devus wrong. Ah, close. I forgot the Z. Maybe Hinter rendezvous with whoever that other person was. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're working on the... I'm going to say this every time somebody else shows up, so don't feel bad about it. But we're working on the character story stuff for the Twitch character that this channel is going to have. The whole point of this channel is, like, I'm basically doing this as a hobby. And so one of the things I do like to do as hobbies is writing. Like, I play video games, I build models, I play, like, D&D, Magic the Gathering, etc. So one of the things I wanted to do as part of the hobby here is we go and work on this. As far as your question, doing fine, dodging having to face my writing, which is a pain. Hey, I will say this, though. The sooner you get the writing done that you have to do, the sooner you can do writing that you enjoy doing, or like playing games or whatever you like to do. So don't feel like you got to hold off on it. But yeah, welcome in. Hope that this helps motivate you to write as well. I know that's sometimes one of the reasons why I'll boot up like a Twitch stream when I'm working on a project or whatever for inspiration. I mean, I enjoy it. It's just that I don't have the right words to capture how I want. Oh. Well, they just... I wish I could speak on what a muse is, like what my muses are. Typically, it just ends up being the people I interact with. Or, like, I watch or see something and I'm like, oh, that would be perfect. Let's go to question. And chapter 1, me, the Blizzard trades, new upgrade weapon, upgraded pistols. Then proceed. Chapter 2 outline. All right, I feel like we got a good start for chapter 1. Bacon. A set of contents, all sets which do not contain themselves as a paradox, so they have to. Oh, jeez. I wouldn't have known that either. It does crack me up how sometimes a hard trivia question will be like something completely asininely easy, and then you get absolutely cooked with something like that. Yeah, the problem is that Writing deep first person, trying to capture the normality of a situation from distance with a character that is. Yeah, that is definitely difficult. Capture normality. I mean, typically what I try to do is I kind of source it from like how I would react in that situation. But I mean, the first part of this series we did does have a first person perspective attached to it, but that's more so discovering the media, right? All right, chapter 2. Yeah, same here. It's using my approach, but that sometimes runs. Yep, that's exactly it. Right, constraints. Well, hey, so long as you're doing it yourself, that's what matters, right? Galley dock worker. I don't want it to be like insinuated this person's like a schlock. Haven't written anything in months. What is this writing thing you speak of? Can it be eaten? Currently, the ad is doing me. Gotta love Twitch ads. They always strike at the most inopportune moments. And I know I'm like saying this like you can hear me, but you can't because it's an ad. But sometimes writing can be eaten. It just depends on what you write it on. Like a cake with frosting you eat, you know, and if there's writing in the frosting, you're eating writing, so. He pays a visit to a store and a local diner trying to see if his back at if any of his I will do there. I'm dead sold on what I want their gender to be at. I eat my keyboard. Soup Dog, it wouldn't surprise me if you eat your keyboard. But yeah. Trying to see if any of the back workers have heard anything or any of the street prowlers haunt wind. What is that supposed to be? I mean, Emerald is cake. What is that supposed to mean, Seven? I mean, it means what it means, Soup Dog. You're a dog in soup. You're a Soup Dog. It wouldn't surprise me if Soup Dog ate keyboards. I mean, I'm sure they're like alphabet soup in a very abstract way. Prowlers comment of any more of Bloodsmith. Maybe I gotta eat them out. Yep, that's exactly. Tastes like metal and plastic. I think it may be a cake. Not promising, but nothing sent to head off to the higher end districts to look for someone on through high blood roller gambler often I do stroke poetry. It smells like burnt toast. You might be having a stroke. Yep, that's exactly. That is not PG-13. Oh, it's not. It's definitely not that kind of stroke. Give him a second. He'll probably give you a sample. High blood. High pure blood. Off gambler that often hangs on the dark. Never once crosses Dakota's mind. The reason why he's been up hiding is that he over the thorough crashing I want to say 1 just because it says Ultimate Imposter, but I think it's supposed to be it's either neither have I. But I'm exposed to the internet enough where I might know this one. I'm gonna go with 2 or 4. Those are my hints. Was that actually 4? I'm so sorry. Change for 10 to. Of course, I spelled the villain's name wrong. Reagan, change perspective to Reagan, who is currently having a blood bank stole from the wild. For Case don't blame the street. Hey, look. Hate the player, not the game. That's also, I do need to figure out how to balance the gambling more. So trivia and gambling are a little closer in price because you can win so much more with gambling than you can with trivia. So, Reagan, who is currently surviving off the blood bag he stole from a while before he went on his rampage. Give a brief flash to his final mission as a true first closer. So far, the only thing we really ever do with the credits right now, and that's mostly because it's like a matter of getting stuff with credits will kind of dictate. Hold on. Basically, I mean, I don't know if I can help you with that. But as of right now, the only thing we have done with it so far is if you look at the widgets, the channel point redeems, there's something called fetch. In fetch, what you do is you throw a bunch of tennis balls at me. Let me show you. So if we go to fetch, as you can see, it throws a bunch of tennis balls at you, right? What we're hoping to do is have it where when we go put up one for auction, you can actually bid on a tennis ball to have. Can you do it again? Ah, no, you're doing it to be fair. I was born in the evening, but not this evening. He stole from blood bags. He stole from a blood bank a while ago. Give a brief flashback to find a mission to be a true postman. Banned from auctions. Well, you're only banned from auctions because you have nearly 500,000 credits, Soup Dog, and you won the last one anyways. But no, we have it where you can label one of the tennis balls to have whatever you want written on it. Like Soup Dog has one that says, what did we make yours say, Soup Dog? What was it? Property of Soup Dog? It's hard to see too because there's so many tennis balls. Ouch! Hi, Romulus. How you doing, buddy? Just give poor workers in the tennis ball factory a job. Do you want the tennis ball to starve? No, I'd rather them not starve. I'd rather everybody earn a living wage. But hey, we're not going to get political right now, even though that shouldn't be something political. But hope you're doing well today, Romulus. It's good to see you around here. We're doing more writing. We finished the Chapter 1 outline. We're now working on Chapter 2 outline here. And once crosses Dakota's mind that the reason why his target's been hiding up is they recover from the thorough thrashing the vampire received from Erie. Change perspective, Reagan. Should probably make a note that this is the blood. And the bloodsmith, who is currently surviving from a horde of blood bags he stole from a blood bank a while ago, before he went on his rampage. Give a brief flashback to his final mission as a true postman. Have him look over his blades. Tap on him in his hideout. Not know where hideout is. Save that for later. Actually, no, I've never actually tried to see if you can give credits away. I'm sure you can, I just don't know if there's like a way to do it. Let me double check something. Where is... See, there's currency. Transfers. Okay, so you can transfer. I don't know how you transfer though. Let me see here. System. Oh. It looks like you can. So, according to Firebot, how you do it is you do credits give per user and then the amount you wish to give the user. So, if I was to do... Try this real quick. Yeah. You need a space. Double check. Yeah, it's credits space give user amount. So it's like credits give space user. Let's do give. Nicely done. Can't give yourself currency. Okay, cool. So it's that command. Credits give. Yeah, that's how it works. So cool. You can just give it all away. Yeah. Ouch. We'll give him a little bit more of my stash. There you go. I can rig auctions. You can do a lot more than rig auctions, my friend. But yeah, so there we go. We learned how to transfer credits. That's cool. I can also remove credits. So for the economy, Soup is a very benevolent banker, as you can see. Change the perspective to Reagan. The Bloodsmith is currently surviving on forward of the banks. You may receive for later. Show. Not avoiding leaking light from his hideout. He is not to sunlight. Right, is that something we had? Hold on, I need to double check something here. Gotta go to the other document. We're doing tax fraud. Indeed, I'm totally not giving. We'll see. Where is? Okay, hold on. Well, she's also limited transfer. Several augmented sites on chest invisible. Just on Bloodsmith nowadays. However, enough power behind them, overload spells. Green is back powered, so rifle, fully aware of what he's capable of to avoid stronger. One true run in. Why is this here? Alright, looks like I can't figure out if we ever made the Bloodsmith work weak to light. Let's see here. Down Dark Path, unlike Master Stealth, Blood Magic. Nesis. Okay, so has many of the same weaknesses, very similar to a vampire or folklore. However, our reduced effect is still not human. Holy relics spell along with would also, of all things, does surprising amount of damage. Natural daylight keep from use. Okay, so the daylight does affect him still. So I want to make sure we have that noted here. Wrong document. I'm not avoiding him avoiding directly in the leaking light from his hideout. He's not weak to sun as he is weakened to sunlight. However, he doesn't totally not rigged. Oh dear. Whenever Soup Dog goes to hem, I think of grenade. Yep, there it is. Ouch! Goodness. This RuneScape music's weird. It's Night of Spring. So I just like bring in. Ooh, what is the name? Oh, what is his name? Well, what was his name? What was the name of the babysitter's boyfriend? Charlie. That was close. I honestly forgot they gave him one. I love Calvin Hobbes. I got a lot of the books there. Well, the big collections, I should say. I haven't read them in forever, though. Reagan continues to brood as he plots his next attack. Romulus. Reagan continues to brood as he plots his next attack. On a small scale, he wants to use fully recovered without drawing too much attention. Small hit on a... What should he hit? This following used to measure blood pressure. Dude, it's... we've learned not to question what the EdBot trivia dictates as hard or easy questions. Small hit on a... But what should Reagan attack? Which of the companies does not manufacture motorcycles? Oh, one's... Yeah, that is an easy question. Small hit on a... Bank? No, bank... He wouldn't necessarily need money so much as he would need... Because he's gonna... His through pot for this is him sending him... Oh, I know. Small hit against a known gang working in the or districts. One that tends to be more obscure. Obscure in nature. One that had been on the sites of the post for a while. Reagan is to take shift back to Jared. Oh, should probably actually say Dakota because it's himself right now. Back to Dakota on entering a building that is ran by, what did we say the dude's name was? Trueleaf? Yes. Yeah, there are cooldowns. Is there like a CD? Yes, there is. Sorry, I missed it because I was typing. But it's 2 minutes. So I think both have about a 2 minute cooldown. But yeah, there is. Also, let's see here. Oh geez. Not a sticky thing. Shift back to Dakota, entering buildings run by Trueleaf, a sort of library. Shift back to Dakota, entering buildings run by Spencer Library that rents. Oh, just a second too early here. Entering buildings from research learns out various homes and hollow vids. I don't think hollow vid as a concept is. Maybe we should do hollow logs. Recordings. Various... Oh, geez. Let's go gambling! Yes! Yeah, you can only wager up to 1,000. That's like that is the one limiting thing here with that. Sorry, education tomes and hollow recordings on all things related to history and what... Hollow. We'll just stick with history, among other educational matters. Joke about Alf being a gambler with this as his day job. Reveal that the gambling is what made this all possible. Gambler with his day job. I feel like chapter 2 is very dense. But I feel like a lot of it is going to be spent dissecting Rig and how he feels about things right now, so we need that. Isn't that? Franz Joseph was last Emperor of Australia. You know, as much as a freaking World War nut I am, I should know this. I don't remember that. Maybe it was. I hate when my brain doesn't remember something I'm usually interested. Oh, jeez. Which of these is closest number to the states of Army in standard enigma machine? Yeah, no, that's my thoughts exactly. I'm gonna say... Yeah, I was gonna say 3. But it was 4. Womp. Sorry, you'll hit it big when you go gambling. True life. And... we gotta start calling him Dakota. Presses him on what he may know about... It was my fault for preparing trivia. Nicely done. See, I feel like... Okay, the ridiculous amount of credits aside that you have, Soup Dog, I do have to say, I feel like you can ramp up credits very, very fast as a new viewer in here. Just going off of face your fear here. He has 10,000 credits right now, so I do feel like we're at a good spot with that. That was a concern I had. I want to make it so that like people can earn credits fast, because the other thing I want to have available to be done with credits is to give channel points. I haven't figured out how to do that yet, but I feel like it would be a fun system to have so that people can have a way to, like, you know, get points back. Which of the following blood vessels carries deoxygenated blood? Ooh. It was the... Okay. Well, I would have got that one wrong, too. About some of the more darker... What's that? Inside the world. We don't want to do underworld. Or districts. 2. True Leaf knows nothing but rumors of gang. What do we want the gang to be called? Small hit against a known gang. And what should we call the game? Pursue basic. Oh jeez. The title of Adolf Hitler's autobiography, Mein Kampf, is what when translated to English. Purple Hand? I mean, it could work. Purple Hand could work. I kind of want to give them more of a, like... Okay, what I'm thinking of doing is... Because a lot of this is based off, like, early 90s, late 80s cartoon nomenclature. Like, for example, Jared Howell is the name of the main character for this, where his whole gimmick is the fact that he's a werewolf, right? So it's like the name betrays what he becomes, right? So if we want a gang that becomes thralls for vampires, maybe we should call them the Blood letters. The blood letters, the blood. D. E. Red. Ooh. Red veins. I like that. What do we feel about the red veins for the gang? I do like the purple hand, though. I'm going to keep that in mind. The timing is off. Not by much. Small hit against a known gang named the Blood Veins, working... Your nature... The site's specimen for a while. Reagan aims to take it over. Criticism, what do we know about darker things? Rumors of gang. Purple. And wanting to push into next city over. That is all he knows. Purple Hand is known for find high stakes gambling through Leaf. Is a fan of Ship Tribute True Leaf. Although he doesn't respond well to that nickname he uses when not or building a sort of library, okay? Reveal that gambling is what made it possible. Or darker. Dakota Preston would know about some of the darker things that the criminals of the lower district Drew release and nothing but rumors of the gang Purple Hand wanting to push into the next city over. That's all he knows. Purple Hand is known for the kind of high stakes gambling True Leaf is a fan of. So I'm glad to see your mom there. Yeah, it do be like that. Goodness, my chat is active right now. I almost feel like it's not populating the full chat box like it should be. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, it's not populating the full chat box. It's supposed to go all the way down. Savage, I want money. I want money. Money. I don't speak no German neither. Goodness, Soup Dog. Friggin' rolling. Okay. Fan of... Go to departs. Just bring that up another. Departs. True Leaf. It's on his indicator to warn the gang of a postman. Because now he parts his hide out. Sights set to where? Red means a claim to. Chapter 3 outline. Kota will run into Reagan. Not be able to find him for chapter 3 outline. That should be a chapter 3 thing, so we're gonna move that into chapter 3. Ooh, Paul McCartney. He's always used his middle name. What's his first name? I would have went with 2, though, too. I wouldn't imagine it being James. James, I mean, I guess it does flow. Side out. I should do Ruggin, but with escape him. And. Okay. 14 seconds. It's so close. Really distracting you from your writing here. Exothermic reaction is a chemical reaction that raises energy by radiating electricity. I don't think that's right. Thermic typically tends to be heat. Yeah. Thermic is like heat. The outline. Show how we can escape the fight. Fury. Show back of his mission killing the gang boss, or going on the run. Right. Death, maybe? Up to present time of Bloodsmith stalking about SG. Oh, I don't have any achievements set up right now. I get an achievement if I get all the numbers between 1 and 10. No, there's no achievement tied to like numbers line up. Firebot has limitations on what I can have it do with some of the games it has available to it. The only game that's like I can program more is heists, but I just have not taken the time to do that yet. Heists are something that like the whole chat can be involved with. But yeah, I don't have anything set up for that yet. Dakota busy on call with a fellow worker from his post office asking if on the Purple Hand. They're criminals, but clean. We can't pin anything on them yet directly as right now. They're the only right now. Period. As of right now. Wants keeping other games from moving to the city. Sad, but needed evil as people's trust in the postman until lessened from it. Let's go. No one. Move. Okay, I mean, without going into spoilers, yeah. I think the trivia is not biased as far as things like spoilers go. But I mean, also Gravity Falls has been out for a while, so you should be fine. That would fall under the what's the rule I have for it? I have a rule for it. I think I call it the 3-week rule. I really do appreciate you adhering to the rules, though, but don't worry. A lot of the things are more so there just for, like, my sake, but also, I think it's rules. Thank you, Edbot. Sorry for spam. Discussion. So, like, what, like, for example, the most PG-13 is, like, I don't want to have talk about, like, overly raunchy topics here. The 3-week rule is the rule pertaining to, spoilers. So something like Gravity Falls would fall under the 3-week rule. Also, I guess the chat box fully does work. It's just messages weren't. Anyways, I'm distracting myself again. Sorry for the rule spam there. Districts rise. High rises. Or distance high rises. Sleeping building for the Red Run's hideout. Dakota busy on call with on them. Dakota use. Don't worry, I just make the picture shirt as intended. Us and the United States government. Towards Maine. You know. Place doesn't go too often as lawmen aren't allowed in, even if they are. Places go too often as postmen aren't usually. Even if they are postmen. Bad blood. Bad for all that. Bad blood and bad for business and all that. I think this is spelled wrong. Before I write this down, I want to make sure I'm not copying something else. Was there a casino named the Violet Lotus in anything? Because I know in Percy Jackson they had one, but I thought it was called the White Lotus in that. Oh, we could just call it the Rose, too. The Violet Rose. Also may or may not have watched The Rocketeer last night, so that's why I'm, like, associating it again with a casino club. The main casino. District. Main casino in the district. Casino on top. Club on bottom establishment. A place doesn't go too often, if ever recently. All. As all men aren't usually allowed in, even if they're postmen. Bad blood, bad for business, all that. There's Purple Lotus, Lotus Hotel and Casino. Okay. There's a casino thing. Okay, so Purple Lotus was something I've heard about. Okay. There's Purple Lotus, so I think Violet Rose works, right? Fear, why are you giving away your credits to Soup Dog of all people? Go too often. Sneaking the Violet Rose for club. Heading skyward. Wow, thank you for the follow! Face your fear, I appreciate it. Go ahead and do the Twitch thing here. Thank you for the follow, Face your fear. Oh, you played League of Legends. Darius heads back to finish his office. Shift and it's filled with rage. Doesn't understand. Knows. Head to save. Alright. So I sneak up and unable to find a bit of blood. We'll run it up. Never find a bit of blood. Just face him. Only escaping because the Empire caught person in the wrong place at the wrong time. Attacking the innocent to Dakota. Choose between saving her or him, them, or her. See. Mythology, baby. Yeah, they do use a lot of Greek mythology here. So choose because she's a person. Too slow to find the Bloodsmith afterwards. Dakota gets the victim to a hospital because they are dangerously low on blood. In chapter 3, victim gets the victim to a hospital as they're dangerously in blood. For furious if from failing to catch Reagan, heads back to his office to shift filled with a rage. He doesn't understand but knows he had to save that person first and foremost. In chapter 3. Nice. Alright. I feel like now's a good time to kind of go over this and see if we want to do any changes before we start working on anything more specifically. So, how this is going to work. Chapters to episodes ratio. We got 3 chapters to a single episode on average. So the formula would be like opener to cold open. The cold open is just like a 3-minute blip about something. Into chapter 1, into chapter 2, commercial break. You know how episodes work. The whole Jared versus Dakota bait. Jared is when he feels underpowered, weak, etc. Dakota is who he is now. He's stronger. He's got more to protect. Doesn't refer to himself as Jared unless it's in moments where he felt weaker or failed. I'll put a point here. Or failed. Jared versus Dakota is to feel similar to how Bruce versus Batman plays out, but not to the extent where Jared is no longer Jared, and it's only Dakota, but Jared feels as if he's effectively not as strong as Dakota. Throughput of the story, in terms, opener to season 1, theme plays, flashes, main title, summer, holographic cut, 2 characters in, Snoop is up, Flowers you, I'm this, chapter 1 outline. I feel like we covered Dakota's current stuff, how he feels about what happened, maybe some flashbacks to the fight. Is he bothered? Yes. Is he bothered? Yes. But doesn't. Hey! Thank you for the follow, Hard Cannon. Thank you for stopping in. Hope you're doing well today. Go ahead and hit you with a shout out. Make sure I spell your name right here. Thank you for the follow. You are having a good day. Ooh, co-working and studying. Very nice. Also, I'm sorry if I missed any messages you posted before following. I have this bad habit. Years ago? Yeah, I can't really talk about some of my earlier streams. I played like Overwatch, Titanfall, and like Halo 5, and just streaming from my Xbox. I'm showing the villains. I feel alright. Chapter 1 outline. It covered Dakota's current stuff, how he feels about what happened, maybe some flashbacks to the fight. Yes, anybody? Yes, but doesn't show it. Outward. Slight world building, explain how people feel about the roads, protect, trust, etc. Follow from what happened after the prologue. We got some of that. Started someone questioning about what happened. Yes. Got that nailed. I feel like we got a lot of this covered. Yeah, I thought about coming back to writing streaming, but looking at you or hate might be. I honestly thought so too. Fear until I started doing it. And I felt like if it's for what I'm like, for example, what we're doing here, this is particularly for the streaming stuff. So like, it makes sense to have this be not only documented so that like we're not blatantly trying to cover something, but also so that it's a way for you guys, the audience, who would be a part of what I do, to give your input, you know? So, yeah. So chapter 1 begins, start scene with Jared before augments and the Super Soldier Project. He's in dusty old ring with an older fighter. The older fighter is scarred, bruised, has many years of combat experience shown on his body. Jared cocky rushes in, voiceover in his head, telling him to duck, bob left, to avoid haymaker, etc. Jared ignores the voice, gets hit. Catches himself on the ring wall before he's ringed out. Other fighter shakes head, then proceeds Jared to show Jared how it is done. Reveal voice in Jared's head. Here is the fighter. That fighter going over how to fight and how Jared should have approached it after Jared lost him, giving tips on how to read people in a fight. Ooh, thank you, I'm doing well. Nah, just hopped in. Also, world build one getting it. Okay. But wanted to get some advice or at least see some real life outlining process. I have a ton of notes. Hey, notes are always good. Let me see if I can actually show the paper here. Okay, that's going to show the forward. Here we go. So we have 2 chapter 1s up right now? No, we do. Hold on. Property. See here. Okay, it's not wanting to show the... Sometimes OBS does not like Microsoft Word. Give me a second here. We got that back now. There we go. Okay. So we have, like, if you want to see the outline that we have for all this story stuff right now, we have, I think it's like close to, it's 18 pages worth of stuff. Fear, need face fear note. But yeah, so like what we did is, I mean, we spent weeks, nearly like 2 months working on this. Essentially, all that this is like the back world information for everything that's going to be the Twitch character here. I sadly still remember 90% of what I wrote, and I feel that. Yeah, so like something that I think helps with my writing process is to go into and basically take what the throughput is for the thing I want it to do, and then go from there. So like if my throughput is to be talking about how I want, like, what do I want chapter 1 to cover of the story? I'll make a list of bullet points I want to... Why'd you make me die? I didn't die. I didn't die at all, Fear. I did not die inside. Can't kill what's already dead. So yeah, like typically how I go about it is I'll do like an outline of what I want to cover and then actually start working on that by writing out those specific things. And then I'll go into writing by actually looking through those things and then fleshing them out more as like a structure. And then from there, build it. So like if I have an objective of what I want the throughput plot of, let's say, chapters 1 through 3 to be, I'll have all those things written out in like small paragraphs and then build upon them by adding in detail, some more stuff on the character, so on and so forth. So for example, in chapter 2, where we actually change perspective to the Bloodsmith, we have it going to what he's been doing for the last few months since the attack, why he hasn't been doing anything, because he's been recovering from the thrashing he received from the other postman that was on the hunt with Jared at the beginning in the pilot/prologue. We will go back and write that at some point. What was the given comment again? Oh, the give command? It's... And it's not remove. Give. So it's basically credit. So it's exclamation point credits, space give at, you know, the user, and then how much you want to give them. Well, yeah. So that's how my writing process goes there, Canon. I feel like it's one of those things too, where having a way to vocalize what you're writing helps. I mean, it helps me, especially like given the fact that I can sit here and like ask questions out loud and then get feedback. Oh no, you don't have 30,000 credits to give here. How many do you have right now? You are close. There you go. Now you have less than 9K. Yeah, thank you guys for the follows too, by the way. Yeah. You have 20,000. Huh? Oh, I misread it. But yeah, so that's what this is. All right, we got to get you closer to half mil. Soup's probably pretty close. Don't let him fool you. I can even check. Hold on. I can cheat and check. Ugh. He is very close to half mil. He is very close to half mil. I think. Should finding trivia. Wait. Oh, trivia bot's going. Trivia's going down. Oh boy. Been a while since we had that happen. But yeah, hope that helped answer your question there, Cannon. I don't remember what you said. Let me scroll back up in chat here. You're working on. Sick. You're doing a Super Soldier setting too? Yeah, nice. This is. So to answer that question, this is basically we're working on the story for the Twitch character that will be the mascot of the channel. Like how VTubers have their VTuber character. But the idea is this is more so one of the hobbies I have because a lot of what this channel is based off of course, I go to explain it. We get an ad playing. Which was min. Unless I don't know how many people are Turbo users in here. I mean, if anything, I would assume there are a couple of you that are. But I'll just say it for prosperity's sake. But the setting is just, the whole thing evolves from the fact that writing is a hobby of mine, and what I want to do on stream is let you guys see hobbies of mine play out. And so that is what we do here. I'm subbed. You are subbed, but Canon and Fear are not. But yeah, so hobby streamer, I show off my hobbies. Like we've built models, we've done Magic the Gathering stuff, we've done we've played a lot of video games. I showed off some of my favorite games that I've enjoyed playing, like Dishonored. We just finished Dishonored 2's main game here last week, finally. I mean, you guys say you're gonna rig the economy. Just wait till I wipe everything. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that anytime soon. And yeah, like the hairline that's getting. My hairline is actually doing quite fine. I am starting to develop a little bit of a forehead, but I also just got my haircut recently too, so that doesn't help. Oof. No win. But yeah, so the setting here is that. It's basically cyberpunk, but it's like a cassette tape future. So like your sci-fi of like Star Wars, Alien, Blade Runner, and we mix it with the power metal fantasy of like what would be like He-Man or like Glory Hammer, and we mix them into this, and this is what we get. So it's an interesting setting. I really like it so far because it's like a good mesh, and I think it's quite uncommon to have a setting like this for characters on Twitch. So, and this will eventually allow me to progress into more of the hobby stuff that I want to do, which is like designing merch and so on and so forth. But yeah, I think we got a good start on the outlines for chapters 1 through 3. Thank you. I can't take all credit for this. This is a group effort. Viewers like you guys can also input ideas. That is what the give the idea command is for in the channel points there. It is promote your idea. That's what that one is. It's also just a way to like make it so that it's a cheaper way than doing the highlight message if you need to get my attention as well. We're probably going to change it to a get my attention command. But yeah. Other than that, I mean, do you have any other questions about like my writing process or anything like that? I love talking about writing. I don't get to do it often enough. As you can see, there's a lot of grammatical errors, but those will get fleshed out as I talk to the people that I trust as editors. But yeah. Admittedly, I am getting hungry, so we might wrap up streaming here before too long. But let's see here. Would you like to go over what we have written out so far as a story, you two? Specifically the new ones, Fear and Canon. Do you guys want to have me go through the forward and prologue? Because I'll do it. I do like yapping about my stuff. In the meantime, go to the chapter 3 layout here. Yep, away. I shall sleep soon, though. Yep, away. All right, cool. So if you're going to be sleeping soon, that's good. Essentially, though, what we have for the forward, basically, I kind of like it. It's a little ingenious. Ooh, it's turning 1 a.m. for you right now? Gotcha. That is pretty early in the morning. So, heads up, forward, something cheesy here. I don't need to read that, but I know the struggle too. I could yap all day about my work. Yeah, I actually have quite a fun, engaging job, honestly, and pays really well, so I'm cool with it. But I want to have more of a creative outlet, and so far this streaming stuff has proven to be that. Whether it be showing off games I enjoyed, stuff, my hobbies, things like that. But yeah, so this is also based off of a place where I grew up nearby. So while it is saying you, just know that this is like a place that I went to a lot when I was younger. You remember this place being much more alive back when you grew up in this town. You technically didn't grow up in this specific spot of town. You lived more so on the outskirts of town. You remember coming to this video rental store back then. It was what was it? It wasn't a Blockbuster, yet you recall the logo vividly on the side of the building being blue next to what was once a cheap pizza chain store. This oddly shaped strip mall was more like a corner L market placed off from two of the busiest intersections in town. Many of your Saturday evenings growing up here were spent looking over the various movies, games, candies, popcorn selections, and books for rent in this now worn down building. Odd for a movie rental place to have books along with their movie selections, but it fits the vibe of this place naturally, especially given how much of this town often felt put together from random bits of different cultures from all the different European heritages that coalesced here, and this one's a booming lumberjack town from a time before your time. You exit your car, locking the doors, out of habit from living in a larger city now. You're well over an hour away from home, yet you're not sure why tonight of all nights you wanted to come here, especially as you just left your parents' house not too long ago, but you came here anyways. Nostalgia, memories, yearnings for a simpler time, the answer never quite came to you, but regardless of the answers not given, you find yourself in the darkened reflection of the glass doors to the building. Had long since been emptied, just racks of empty shelves lining the wall and boxes filled the place. Whoever owned it since then seemed to try to rebrand the store into other pursuits. A comic shop, a bookstore, a gaming shop, all seemed like failed ventures once the town started to catch up to the modern era. The owners never parted with the building, probably due to wanting more for the establishment than what buyers were looking to buy for. Test the doors, expecting them not to open. To your surprise, though, they do. You gently pry the door open to see even the lights were still on inside. Tinted glass would explain why you didn't see the lights on. That was definitely newer. You guess you just missed the owner. Regardless, you move into the store, phone in hand, as you get ready to record the trip inside. Suddenly you get a feeling that maybe recording yourself trespassing is probably not the best of ideas right now. Sure, it was unlocked, maybe a valid excuse to let you yourself into your friend's home, but not here. You put the phone away. As you look towards your pocket, that's when you notice a box with a note on top. Sitting on the countertop next to you, you glance down at the note and read it. Check with Marty. Found these in the attic under a box of old promo posters for when we had that deal for Friday BOGO popcorn packs or whatever. Never heard of these cartoons before. Can't find anything online. Ask him if he wants to try to give the nerds upstate a call. Scott. You look down further into the box and see a clean stack of neon packaged VHS tapes all sorted and stacked neatly with what looks like the classic Star Wars A New Hope box art on them, clearly satirized and done up with characters you've never seen before. Prominently, you notice that the one up front is a burly-looking man with a sword and a gun aiming upwards. He's got a weird-looking cyberpunk tech coat on him that looks to be like dog features? Wolf, maybe, as part of his look. As he also clearly was some sort of military-based hero, some sort of werewolf man. You're not too sure, but you see other various fantasy-esque characters on the cover with him. A similarly clad vampire seems to be replacing Vader in the background with the name Arcane Chronicles across the top. with a smaller subtext title, Noxe Milistararum, Season 1 written on it as well, by the publishing house known as Far-Fetched Tales. It seemed incredibly He-Man-like in nature, as if it was a competitor that never took off in America, or well, anywhere for that matter. You've definitely never seen this before. Glancing around you to make sure you were alone still, you pick up the tape and give it a heft. It felt dense. Good. Probably meant that there was a lot to watch. However, upon closer inspection, you notice the tape was meant to be an elaborate package for early DVDs. That felt out of place. Why would such a retro-looking cartoon have been brought up to that level of technology and still be this heavy? How many DVDs would be needed for a season of a late 80s to early 90s cartoon show? A better way to find out would be to, well, watch it. You pop open the case and see how many discs are inside, and to your surprise, had a white index card-esque note inside with another written message on it. The note was clearly mass-produced, but still had the feel of a personalized note. Hey, you don't know me, nor I you, but this was a project of love from three brothers. We often butted heads, we often argued, but we always came together to enjoy a Saturday morning cartoon when we got the chance. Those days are long gone for us now. We move on, we grew up, but still, here I am. I published our works with an overseas company from Japan. It took all I had to even do this, but I believe our vision came true with this afterwards. We made our own Saturday morning cartoon. Well, never got picked up by anyone, and we lost all the money. I did, but our dreams were realized. We did it. Sometimes chasing your dreams will lead to them coming true, but not in the way you think. This is proof of that. I may never see the day where this cartoon takes off, but we made sure we had enough to work with just in case. We could go on for 7 or even 10 seasons. We might even outshine Scooby. If you're reading this and find these tapes here, I set up a P.O. box where you can fill out this flyer and send it in to us over at. You pause, reading the note, as something clattered off in the back of the store. The other document I have for this is actually updated with better writing. You put the note back. Where did I set that? You put the note back in the case and shut it, setting it down as you go off towards the back of the store, getting past a row of empty shelves and a stack of boxes that you see that the door to the back office has been knocked open, revealing more mystery than you would have expected on this nostalgia trip. The store was opened by another stack of those VHS tape-looking cases having fallen out of another box haphazardly stacked back behind the door. No other visitors yet, it seemed. Signing over release, you decided that even though it is probably a crime and a possible issue with your moral compass, you take these cases and look about. Take one of these cases and look about before looking into the office, see if any other surprises here. From what you can see, there are only 2 of these boxes available to look through. One having what looked like ragged old shirts for employees in it, and one that had knocked open the door. Satisfied with your lack of finding anything, you decide now would be a very good time to leave with your mystery in hand. This would prove to be a decision that would change the course of how you looked at your nostalgia when dreaming of your youth. You have now set in motion something in motion you could never quite understand, and the journey to learn more about this arcane chronicles will lead you down upon. Taking the case of DVDs in hand, you decide to resume looking through the case. To your surprise, you see that not only it was a disc for Season 1, but also OST for the show, a documentary disc, and a poster of all things. Lamenting that your car didn't have a CD player, you wait to listen to it until you get home. The note is hung in your mind, but being a responsible driver, you left it alone in the case, questions lingering in your mind. Trip home gave you plenty of time to dwell on what would be revealed when searching and looking up the series. Page break. Prologue, Episode 0. What of the dreams that come from darkness? Thursday, April 28th, 2698, DNFT. Handful of years before the current story. Luck, faith, perseverance, a quote often used by the various mage orders from the Alchemy Guild. Be as it may, steward, we cannot just have this information readily available for just anyone to scoop up with their daily news feeds. We have status to maintain, and that we keep the peace here even if one of our brightest have gone rogue. There's a pause as the other side of the communicator flared up with some anger from the other caller. The clerk attending kept her gaze down and away from the wizard as she waited for his turn to speak again. Things had not been going well since what transpired the other night, as rumors of the mysterious killer on the loose that had once been a postman, a powerful augmented agent of the highest ranks of government, made to keep the peace. It would be devastating to the trust and security of all that they, the postmen, themselves aimed to do. She rubbed her temple as the stress from all this transcribing made it difficult for her to even think of all the ramifications that would befall this branch had this got out. Now, I understand that the public needs to be made aware of this, the wizard said calmly, despite the red of his face betraying what emotion he was really feeling. But if we admit that it is one of our own, we risk losing the very thing the postmen were aiming to do: keep peace. He turned back to look out over the night sky of the city through the massive window atop the spire they were stationed in. Yes, we will be changing up the missions for postmen to go on to handle this as a top priority. No, you cannot say that this may be a rogue postman, as we cannot confirm that yet. For all we know, this is just another villain dabbling in some dark magic that the judges are not too concerned with. The clerk looks out to the nights above the city as well. Years have passed since the founding of the postman, and even in that small window, the amount of trust people had put into the postman had been staggering. They were untouchable in the eyes of the public, a group of heroes that continued to do good for everyone, not just the rich and powerful did wonders, who knew. She stopped massaging her temple as another message flared up on her hood from her monocle. 2200 hours. Are we good? Or we just DC'd there. Are we back? Alright, I think we're back. 2200 hours, Stanford Tower, bring a recorder and a communicator. He wants to talk. The clerk glanced back over at the wizard, thinking he stopped talking for no reason. He stood still, mouth slightly agape, as he stared out the window. The clerk followed his gaze. Her eyes now widened as she saw what her superior saw. A dark red smear began floating across the horizon, unlike anything she had seen before. The communicator flared up angrily once more, as if the other side had asked a question that didn't get an answer in a timely manner. The wizard cleared his throat and exhaled. Yes, I know that this is very serious. He had now gone on talking about how they were handling it and don't need help from a neighboring branch, that the agents on hand would suffice in handling this criminal. The clerk felt the doubt in his voice as much as he had in her heart. They would need help if what they saw was who had been committing these killings. The communicator clicked at it as she verified the conversation was recorded for peer review later. I've only seen that kind of magic once before. The wizard tucked the brim of his hat down as he dialed a new number into his communicator. A series of pings rang throughout the clerk's computer. We haven't had to deal with a villain like this in nearly 500 years. As if his white hair could not stand out anymore against his darker skin. The wizard seemed to age all at once as he nervously trembled. The fear was palpable. It's a vampire, Lord, he murmured as his fingers danced across the communicator's interface. He was putting out a call to all available postmen in the area. The worst fear was beginning to be realized. As he did, another smear began to form in the night sky. Smoke and fire started to rise from the origin point of that original smear. May the judges grant us mercy. This message is to all available units in the area. It is a purposefully intended auto-crafted message of utmost importance. The engines on the Omni vehicle roared louder as the transport shifted from street mode to air mode. The driver cleared out his last coordinates as he moved the vehicle to go airborne. Not send a message like this lightly. As you are all well aware, your duty is first and foremost to the people of our great city. The driver thumbed a button on the visual display before him, grimacing silently to himself. The postman looked over his shoulder, verifying how much he had on his person for such an alert. Secondly, it is to ensure that whatever threatens our greater unity is quelled swiftly and with no remorse. The postman ran a quick diagnostic test over his tactical gear to make sure all the spells, armor, weapons, and that his watch was ready for combat, fully charged, locked, and loaded. We have reports of a cataclysmic target sighted, last seen exiting a civilian sector, possibly having started a fire, moving westward towards a construction zone. The agents of the medical guild have been alerted to aid a local law enforcement body to attend to the wounded. Local firefighting guild dispatched. The postman shifted in his seat. He could not control his excitement. Finally, action. He felt like the last weeks of being stationed in this part of the city kept him from the majority of the action brewing in the higher districts. But now, he was the closest to this villain's rampage. Be advised, target is extremely dangerous and will require utmost lethal force to be dealt with. Do not attempt to capture. Destroy target without harming innocents. Be advised. Other postmen en route. Confirm if joining the hunt so that other agents are aware. Be advised. Witnesses claim target has possible hostage. Confirm objective acknowledgement and proceed with mission go. The Wolfen postman smirked behind his combat visor and gave the reply. This is Postman Agent Dakota. Mission go. May this help bring about our destiny. As Jared Dakota Howell accelerated towards the target, he saw several other acknowledgements come through. But to his horror, he saw another priority message come through above all others. Mission rewrite assigning. All other available units proceed to forward coordinates. Possible outbreak detected. Be advised, civilians compromised. Agent Dakota and Erie proceed and hunt other agents. Converge and help contain outbreak. Rendezvous with leading law enforcement agent groundside. Jared slumped a bit in his Omni vehicle seat. This definitely warranted the cataclysmic target designation, but what could have caused a fire in an outbreak like this and just flee the scene? A necromancer? A demon? Something wasn't sitting right about this, and Jared was itching to find out. Also, this would be the first time he got in to do an assignment with the elusive Agent Erie. He knew of her and heard she was one of the other first postmen made, but didn't quite remember where she came from. No one remembered. Agent Dakota checked his gear once more and sped off towards his target. As it is so it will be. Postman deliver justice. Little did anyone deployed tonight know that this would be the start of something no one would ever come back from the same again. Jared least of all. For tonight, Jared would meet something impossible to him. A vampire lord. A postman gone rogue. And there we go. That's the forward and prologue that we have written so far, along with the outline and the start of chapters 1 and 3. Thank you. We put a lot of work into this. But yeah, I think with that, though, we're going to go ahead and get ready to call it here, though. I'm going to go ahead and stop the music. Holiday. Destiny 2 soundtrack. But yeah, the hope is at some point with what we're doing is... Oh, I... Stop. Why is it... I guess there's a shortcut that's tied to how I change scenes to narrating in Microsoft Word. Groovy. Oh, the glorious death count. A wake of vultures. Yep. The one death that I somehow got while writing, of all things. But yeah, no, we'll be going live again tomorrow. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing more writing or if we're going to play some games. I will keep you guys posted. If you want, just drop a follow on Twitter or Blue Sky. That's where I usually post updates for stuff about this, as we don't have a Discord server yet. I'm also still looking into other platforms for a replacement to Discord, considering how that is about to go because of how it's going to be implementing its age verification. I really don't want to support that, so we might be looking into a different group for that. But yes, with that, although, other than that, yeah, the plan is we'll be streaming tomorrow, Wednesday. We're off Thursday, but then we'll be streaming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday unless something comes up. I am working this Sunday, so we'll see how that goes. Other than that, the only thing I can say is next week, Friday, the 22nd, I will not be streaming. Hey, I appreciate you stopping in, though, even if it is only for today. I appreciate the follow. Thank you so much for that, Fear. Yeah, just pay attention, look around. I do try to keep it variety here. There was a moment where I was like just a Indiana Jones and the Great Circle streamer because I was really, really enjoying that game. But I think for now, that's going to be it. So appreciate you guys stopping in, saying hi, giving your inputs, your ideas. And I will see you guys tomorrow. It was really, really funny, hot care. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Y'all take care. Have a great night. See ya.